Hello and welcome to Brainy Gardener. Today, it is all about how to grow and care for moon cactus plants. Moon cactus plants are easy to care for, but there are a few things you need to know to keep them healthy. Follow these simple tips, and you'll be enjoying your moon cactus for years to come. The moon cactus, also known as Ruby Ball Cactus, Red Cap Cactus, Red Hibotan and Red Cactus, is a special cactus grown from grafts of two different cacti. These two different cacti are grafted together, and their union is collectively referred to as a moon cactus. Moon cacti are prized for their unique appearance and can be found in many different colors. They are primarily grown indoors in a pot and serve as houseplants requiring little maintenance. The key part is the colorful cyan, which is always a variant of the moon cactus species. The rootstock is a choice between many different types of cacti, with Hylocereus being the most common. Moon cacti will do best when placed in a location that receives bright, indirect light with a few hours of sun each day. So if you're growing them indoors, find a spot near a window where they will receive the right amount of light. Note that these are two different cacti grafted together. The top portion likes a bit of shade, while the bottom wants direct sun. Compromising between the two is necessary for the plant to function. Water your moon cactus deeply, but allow the soil to dry out between waterings. Overwatering results in root rot and death. An excellent way to test is to stick your finger in the soil. If it's wet, don't water it yet. Be mindful that, like many others, this cactus doesn't need watering in the winter. Miss the leaves if the cactus looks like it needs some water but nothing more. Feed your moon cactus a balanced fertilizer diluted to half strength every month during the growing season. These plants don't need it per se, but it will help. Like watering, don't bother with feeding in the winter as the cactus goes dormant. Moon cactus prefers intermediate temperatures. Make sure you don't place it in a spot where it will get too hot or too cold. The room temperature is usually just fine. The recommended temperature range during winter is between 50 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Moon cactus enjoy a dry spell as much as the other family members, so keeping them in low humidity spots is good. Moon cacti grow best in average room temperatures with no specific requirement for humidity. But remember to mist the plant in the winter, as it's the only moisture it can tolerate during dormancy. Due to their peculiar nature, moon cacti can't be propagated the same way as regular cacti. The only real way to propagate them is by grafting the cyan on another rootstock. Grafting is easier than it sounds. Here's how you do it. Cut off a part of the moon cactus and the top of the fresh rootstock with a sharp, sterile knife. Join the two cut ends of both cacti so that both of their spines meet. The spines are the distinct white center visible on the cut surface. Secure the two cacti with a rubber band that's not too loose or too tight. Wait for about 2 weeks for the grafting to be complete. Sometimes the cyan produces offsets or pups that can also be grafted. The process is the same as grafting the main body of the cyan, but instead of using the main body, you'll be using the smaller offsets it produces. Moon cactus doesn't grow too fast, and it will take a few years before it needs repotting. But even if the roots aren't spilling out of the pot, repotting can still be beneficial. It will allow the plant to experience fresh soil filled with nutrients. You can repot these cacti at any time of year, but it's best to do it when it's actively growing. When you do repot, be sure to use a pot that's one size larger than the pot you're using now. Use a soil mix that drains well, like a cactus mix. Make a hole in the center of the soil and place the cactus in it. Gently pack the soil around the cactus. Water sparingly until the plant is established. Moon cactus is generally non-toxic to both humans and pets. Mealybugs and scale insects are the most common pests you'll find on these cacti indoors. If you see any signs, take swift action to get rid of them. Horticultural oils can deal with these pests without damaging the plant. Washed out colors, tilting rootstock, and grafts coming apart are the most common problems of these plants. Washed out colors are caused by too much light. These cacti need bright, but not direct, sunlight. They can tolerate direct sun, but only a little. If they're getting too much light, their colors become washed out as a sign of stress. Tilting rootstock is caused by overwatering the plant. Don't allow the water to stand in the pot. Make sure to only water when the soil is dry to the touch. Overwatering will cause the roots to rot and the bottom cactus to collapse until it eventually dies. Graft coming apart is a common problem that is caused by extreme strain at the connecting point. The place where the two different cacti are connected can come under extreme strain due to the two cacti growing at different rates. This is quite natural, and there is nothing you can do except find a new rootstock. The grafted union of a moon cactus comes with a strict time limit.